massive plume of black smoke rises above Tehran's Shahran oil facility, where flames engulf trucks and fuel depots in the aftermath of a devastating Israeli airstrike. The attack, carried out late Saturday, left small fires burning across the site, with several vehicles completely destroyed. Israeli officials say the targeted fuel was being used to support Iran's military operations, including ballistic missile programs and weapons development. Iran's oil distribution company confirmed 4 employees were killed, and temporary rationing will be implemented to maintain supplies. Iranian authorities condemned the strike as a dangerous new phase of the conflict, calling it a war crime and warning of environmental and civilian hazards from the burning fuel. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has released dramatic new footage showing another wave of ballistic missile launches as part of Operation True Promise 4. Shortly after the operation, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed the assault would continue and that Israel would strike Iran's leadership without mercy.
In Iran, we struck the murderous Ayatollah regime in Operation Kalbi, and now we are doing so even more forcefully in Operation Shagat. At the same time, we brought all our hostages back home. We struck at the centers of terror in Judea and Samaria. We captured Mount Hermon and created buffer zones in Syria, Lebanon, and Gaza. As I promised you 2 days after October 7th, we are changing the face of the Middle East. But we didn't just change the Middle East. First and foremost, we changed ourselves. Because after the great disaster of October 7th, I decided to lead a fundamental change. Powerful actions one after another, proactive and surprising operations, actions that dramatically shift the balance of power between us and our enemies. And with these methods, we turned Israel into a regional power that deters and defeats its enemies. All this requires initiative, courage, and taking risks. In the General Staff Reconnaissance Unit, where I served as a fighter and commander, there was a large poster hanging in the dining hall with 2 words, just 2 words. The daring wins. If you are not daring, if you are constantly afraid of failure, you will lose. But if you do dare, if you take calculated risks and throw the enemy off balance, you break their spirit. Now I will describe to you why we launched Operation Swords of Iron and what we have done so far. And what will we do as the campaign continues? We are facing an extreme evil regime that for 47 years has been calling for death to Israel, death to America, and plotting to destroy us with atomic bombs and tens of thousands of ballistic missiles. President Trump has long understood the magnitude of the danger to the United States and to the entire world. I'll tell you that I met him in Florida a few months before he was elected for his 2nd term. The first thing he said to me was, "Bibi, we must do everything possible to prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons." I would like to thank my friend President Trump for the historic leadership he has shown, for the strong friendship between us, and for the closer-than-ever alliance between the United States and Israel that we are both leading. In a joint operation with dogs, we combined forces to distance the threat from Israel and the United States. The immediate danger. But the tyrant from Tehran, Khamenei, did not heed President Trump's warnings, nor did he heed mine. He ordered the restoration of Iran's nuclear and ballistic capabilities, and even to bury them deep, deep underground, beneath high mountains, so that they would be completely immune to any attack. There is no doubt that after achieving this underground immunity, the Ayatollah regime would use these terrible tools to destroy us, Israel, and to threaten the United States, Europe, the countries of the region, and the entire world with nuclear weapons. After all, this is exactly what this terror regime is doing right now. When it doesn't have weapons of mass destruction, just imagine what it would do if it had nuclear weapons in its hands. And with this foresight, the United States and Israel set out together to take action to thwart these terrible threats. An action that would create the conditions that would allow the Iranian people to take their fate into their own hands. And there was also another danger. There was a danger that Iran would beat us to it, that Iran would be the first to attack American targets in the region as well as Israel. For all these reasons, we acted at the appointed time, and as for what we have done so far, in the first week of the war, we eliminated the tyrant Khamenei, thwarted dozens of senior officials in the Revolutionary Guards and hundreds of terrorist operatives, destroyed government facilities, nuclear infrastructure, command centers and military bases, and weapons factories, missile and UAV warehouses, and hundreds of ballistic missile launchers, all of which reduced the threat to the State of Israel. With the help of our daring pilots and those of the United States, we have achieved near total control over the skies of Iran. With each passing day, we are eliminating more and more of the Iranian regime's capabilities. This is exactly what we are doing in Lebanon as well, with crushing attacks on Hezbollah terrorists, Iran's proxies. And I want to say to the Lebanese government, it is your responsibility to enforce the ceasefire agreement. It is your responsibility to disarm Hezbollah. If you do not do so, Hezbollah's aggression will bring disastrous consequences to Lebanon. And it is time that you too, take your fate into your own hands. In any case, we will do whatever is necessary to protect our communities and our citizens. And regarding what we will do next in Iran, we have a well-organized plan with many surprises. To destabilize the regime, to enable change. We have many more targets, and I will not detail them here. But to the Revolutionary Guard operatives, those who oppress the Iranian people in the streets, I will say only this. You are also in our sights. Whoever lays down his weapon, no harm will come to him. Whoever does not, his blood is on his own head. And to the Iranian people I say, I have been speaking with you and for you for decades. The moment of truth is approaching. Because we do not seek to divide Iran, we seek to liberate Iran, to free it from the yoke of tyranny and to live with it in peace. But ultimately, the liberation from the yoke of tyranny, this liberation will depend on you, the brave and long-suffering Iranian people. I believe that if you stand firm at the moment of truth, the day will not be far off when Israel and Iran will once again become close friends. Anyone who sees the joint waving of flags in Western capitals, the Iranian lion and sun flag alongside the Israeli Star of David flag, anyone who witnesses the dancing and warm embraces between Iranian exiles and Jews, anyone who sees all this is deeply moved. It gives tremendous hope for the future. Our success will not only remove the nuclear threat to the entire world and not only bring peace between Israel and Iran, it will also lead to a dramatic expansion of the circle of peace around us. Today, everyone understands that the Ayatollah's regime endangers the entire world. In recent days, Iran has attacked 12 countries around it. We stand by their side. All these countries see Israel's tremendous strength, our willingness to fight the tyrants in Tehran, the bravery of our army and our people, and our formidable military and technological capabilities. And many countries are reaching out to us. I'm telling you, many countries are now approaching us for cooperation. And why are they doing this? Why are they reaching out to us specifically now? Because we are strong. Because we are right. Because we are fighting. The countries around us see the hypocrisy of the UN, which condemned us without reason in our just war against Iran's murderous proxies in Gaza, while that same UN did nothing in response to the mass slaughter in Iran. These countries that were attacked by Iran see the weakness and spinelessness of leaders in the West who simply abandoned them.